Hi everyone and welcome to another video by Eduvalue. In this video, we'll learn how to lock cells in Excel that have formula. A lot of times when you share your workbooks and spreadsheets with other people, sometimes they end up by mistake or intentionally deleting or changing the formulas. And when you get the sheet back, you see some formula is broken because someone made a change in the formula, and that has caused a lot of issues in the sheet because one formula was attached to many formulas, and now it's a nightmare for you to figure out and change formulas. So in this case, what you would want to do is you want to give the sheet to your colleague or to your team, but after locking the cells which have formula. So they can view the formulas, they can view the data, but they will not be able to edit the formulas, thus protecting the sheet. So for example, if I try to edit this formula, I can see an error here. So any change that I'm trying to make, it's telling me that the cell that I'm trying to change is actually protected and it needs a password to edit. And this way I can ensure that whoever I give this data to will not be able to make any crucial changes that could create some problems. So in this video, we're going to cover how to do that. Let's get into it. So in this data set, we have employee name, we have units sold by each employee, price per unit, and total sales. Now total sales is calculated as units multiplied by price. Now this range of cell has the formula. And what I want to do is I want to protect this range of cells so that no one can edit this. Now let's see how we can do. Now before we get into that, you need to understand two properties in Excel. There is one lock property and then there is protect. Now lock property is a property at a cell level where a cell can be locked or can be unlocked. Now locked does not mean that you cannot edit the cell. Protect is the property which helps you essentially protect the cell from being edited. Now by default, all the cells in Excel are actually locked and only locked cells can be protected further. So first you have to make sure that your first step is locking the cells in Excel and second is protecting those cells in Excel. Now, when a lot of people hear about, hey, I need to lock my cells and once I lock my cells, I'm done, that's not correct. All of these cells right now that you see are actually locked, but you can still make an edit here. So the locked property could actually be confusing, but you have to understand the first step is to lock and the second step is to protect, right? So let's get into it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all cells, for example, and I'm going to hit Control 1. Now this will open the format cells dialog box. Now another way to go here is just right click and from here select format cells. Right? Now in the formula cells dialog box, make sure you're in the protection tab, and here you can see all of these cells in Excel are actually locked. So that's what we want. If you see it's unchecked, make sure it's checked. Now I'm just gonna hit OK. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go under review and I'm gonna click protect sheet. Now as soon as I click protect sheet, it gives me this option. First, it's asking me for a password. Now, if you want to give the sheet to someone with a password, you can do that. If you want to give a sheet to someone without a password, you can also do that. If it's without the password, they can unprotect the sheet and thus make the edit. So it depends on you. Do you want to have password or not? Let's say I want to keep a password ABCD. Let's just put ABCD again. And here you can control some of the permissions. So you can say, hey, people who do not have this password, what can they do? Can they delete? Can they not delete? And you can check and uncheck these specific permissions. Right now, I'm only going to check select locked cells and select unlocked cells, so that if they want to select something, that's okay, but they cannot format, they cannot insert, they cannot make any edits. I'm going to select OK. Now, once it's done, if I try to double click anywhere, it tells me that we are trying to make a change on a protected sheet. So I cannot change any value. I also cannot do any formatting. For example, if I select this entire range of employees, I have no formatting options. I cannot even delete. I can delete the sheet, but I cannot delete the cells. Even in insert, I cannot insert a row, insert a column, I can insert a sheet. But that's it. A lot of these options are actually disabled. And that's how you protect cells in Excel. But wait, let's say we don't want to protect the entire sheet. We only want to protect the formulas. Our colleagues or our team can still edit the units or the price or even the employee names, but this formula should actually be protected. So let's see how we can protect only some specific cells. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go under review. I'm going to unprotect sheet. Now it's going to ask me for password. I'm going to enter ABCD, done. And now what I'm going to do is, if you remember the steps earlier, first we need to lock the cells and then we need to protect the cells. Now in this case, because we want to do this on specific cells, we only have to lock these cells. Rest of the cells should actually be unlocked. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to select all cells, Control+1, uncheck this, hit OK. Now I'm going to come back here, select this range, again do Control+1, and I'm going to lock this. So now that I selected only this specific range, I'm only locking these cells. So let's just hit OK. Now only these cells are actually locked, rest cells are unlocked. Now I'll go under review, product sheet, let's just put ABCD, and done. Now if I am here, I can still edit here. So if I want to change the name, I can still edit here. If I want to change the number, I can still edit here. But if I try to change this formula, that I can't. And this is how you would lock and protect cells with formulas in Excel. If you like the video, make sure to hit the like button and also smash the subscribe button to show us some love. Also, if you're someone who wants to learn advanced Excel concepts like vlookup, index and match, pivot charts, pivot tables, Power Query, and much more, you can check out our advanced Excel course, which covers everything from beginner concepts to an advanced concepts. The link is in the description below. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.